Hello. Good morning. Today is the 4th of December. And we are waiting for price on gold to come down. Hopefully like take out these lows here by 41.86. So that's what I'm going to be waiting for here today. Waiting for some sells. See, I actually waited for 1 minute to close to be sure. Oh, nice. This is a buy. Little inverted head and shoulders right here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Break of the high. Beautiful range on the left hand side. That was a range like... That's a range I wanted to catch this morning. I think it was mainly because of how the 5 minute had already pushed up a little bit. And it came back for that retracement. Okay, how do we close this thing? A nice one. Nice dub. The stops are also maybe like slightly tight for the setup there, because I only peeked through it like maybe a couple of pips, like two pips, and then continue to fill the range. You can see right over here, we went right straight towards 41.94, and then we had the profit taking. So that was the main move for pre-London. That was the main move, man. There was probably like earlier ones right here too. Actually, that looks kind of similar. I think that's the one that you took. Here. That looks similar to this one too. With that pullback. Yeah. I got a bigger inverted in there as well. Got this general zone, this inverted. That breaking above that general region. It's actually quite a nice entry because that's the start of the range here. Like 77 pips. Then I was looking for continuation to fill. Filled, profit taking came down. Mopped up some stop losses below this level right over here. You can see on that wick. As price came down. You can see how intentional it is. Hey, Ricardo. Morning. Right now it's setting up like accumulation. But it looks like it's heading more upwards. Where I want to see it come down. Downtown. Hey, Risky Boy, good afternoon. Morning, guys. Tall Trader. Hey, morning, Brian. Morning, Brian. Mr. Rashid, Jane, Woods, Sri Deng Nyang. All right. Yeah, let's get this moolah. Let's get this moolah. Let's see what we have on Forex Factory today. We have unemployment claims. That's the main thing. So we're expecting an increase over here from 216k to 219k. So the difference here is not that big. So it could be most likely coming out as a neutral numbers over there, which means no direction. Powell's speech and labeled data is in focus next week. The start of the last month of the year brings crucial labor data and comments, man. Like this is... We're thinking that next week is going to be the start of a bull run. next week. Not on gold and other things as well. Because, you know, Powell, like the US dollar does not only affect gold. So we're expecting a bull run next week on gold. Fed Chair Powell is scheduled to speak on Monday, December 1st. Oh, but this is older and is expected to discuss current economic conditions. Let's see. So weak jobs data, market up because the need of a cut rate to stimulate employment. Job data good, market down. Wasn't the last week rally pricing in the rate cut already? Let's see what happens next week. Someone tell Trump that one day Melania will wake up with me on my cottage. Do whatever you want. She loves me. Yeah, so we're waiting over here. Gotta wait. But that daily, let's see where the daily actually is currently sitting right now. Look at that break and retest. It's kind of suspiciously moving down over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are small candlestick bodies. Yeah, small candlestick bodies means low volume, right? So suspiciously moving down here. I think it's hesitating as well because, you know, obviously we're anticipating a bull run next week. So hopefully I'm gonna look for some Christmas runners over there. Maybe hold 6% trade, maybe 5%. We'll see. But yeah, market's just gearing up right now. It's at 0.19%, negative 0.19%. So there isn't too much direction currently. Bro, you don't chart BTC too? Yeah, we do look at Bitcoin. We look at Bitcoin on the higher time frames. I don't think it's doing anything right now since it hit that level. It's just pulling back. You see, once it like filled up the range on BTC, it's just pulling back right now. So there's not enough structure to do much analysis on BTC right here. The last analysis was from 100K breaking below support down towards this next support, and that's it. Now you just gotta wait. You gotta wait for more structure. See, just the way as this filled up this range over here, from here to here. That's it. Now you gotta wait for more structure. Then it's gonna correct. It's gonna do what it's gotta do. But yeah, that's a move. Okay, look at price over here. Maybe it can come down. Can it come down? It's at that kind of psychological barrier here at 40%. I think this is literally 40% right here. Negative 40% on the daily. Pretty big stop. I'm going to be looking for a smaller stop than this. But that's the idea. Maybe price can come and take these lows out. Yesterday kind of just ranged for the most part because we have like a resistance up over here. And then we got that support. So it looks like small little break and retest. Market structure is currently creating new lower highs. More like heading towards the downside. Little break in structure. So see if we can get maybe some kind of a continuation down there. Or if it pulls back up above that break and retest area over here. Maybe then the daily is gonna flip. Daily flips and then tries to pull up. See how the weekly is doing, because you know it's like it's already Thursday here. Wow, look at this. Weekly is already looking at like it's like the all-time highs over here on the weekly. Got the all-time high resistance by 24.47. It's already filled that range on the weekly. Boom, small reaction. Could be profit taking actually. This is looking really nice. This weekly is gonna close bearish, and then the next candle is gonna try and do something like this and try to break above this weekly resistance, create all-time highs with that FOMC in mind. This thing can just start bleeding off. See how it looks like because it comes down. It's kind of been stuck in this general region here for some time since the pre-London. Maybe going for 41.99. What do I think about Nas? Nothing right now. Oh, nice sell. Missed my first setup of the day for fear. I was 2 minutes into the charts intake. Was a big run at 130 pips. It was 190. Oh, from 13 pips sell. Those are the ones that we hesitate on, which are like really nice runners too. So just gotta take it, you know. Gotta take it if it shows itself. Because the way I look at it is, man, I really don't want to miss a move. Like if I come onto the chart and it's for this hour I'm trading, if I see the setup, the last thing I want to do is miss a move. So I gotta like really feel uncomfortable about that position for XY reasons. Because I know if I miss that move, now I gotta wait again. 4200 is working as a psychological mark. Oh, nice. Yeah, we do have 4200 psychological mark right above here. Above here, we still got that like area where price had previously consolidated before. It broke below it, so we're waiting to see a little bit more weakness. It is creating new lower highs, and price is currently moving downwards. It's stuck, man. Like gold is stuck in this range. It's a pretty big range. This area has like 90 pips. So I want to see a similar situation. You see like what happened here, and then how price just melted, broke these lows and just melted. So we're kind of in a similar situation right now, right over here. So let's see if volume can kick in or price will consolidate. There's bullish OB at 86 on the 15. Yeah, I mean, I always trade against any kind of fair value gap or OB. Because I'm going through those ranges, right? I want to see price correct this range here on the 15. Like if it breaks these levels. Here are these wicks. Want to see price come down to like 4180. 4180-ish over there. It's gonna be around like, you know, like 60 pips. But the way it looks, man, like I don't know, we just gotta wait and see what price does. Because right now it's just like anticipating. That's all it is. We're just kind of anticipating here. We don't even know if that's gonna be the move. But just gonna have something on the chart. Let's see, you could just say waiting for entry. Somehow like yesterday's scenario during London Open. It feels like these bulls want to really come in there. Let's remove that for now. They're creating these like higher lows. This price is moving up. You know, volume is starting to break above resistance. And big candlestick that is. It's like a bit. It needs to get out of this range though. This is not really such a nice range. It seemed like multiple liquidity grab that happened up here on that bearish candle that pulled it down, and then you have this other one right over here. Broke the lows and then pulled up. So definitely do have like some kind of a shock in the water in this general region. The only difference now is, the only catalyst now is, oh damn, that was even London Open. London Open fakey. Broke the highs and then pulled down. Brutal. Look at that candle high, broke these lows and then still reflipped. Bullish, still closed bullish there. Hey, why you running, Goldie?
Why are you running?
Still a little strong? Yes. Whether I'm biased bullish, just a question from where right now. It's trying to break out here. Oh. I use a zone for scalping. Really don't like the looks of these wicks. This makes me a bit. It's not a great thing to see. You see how it breaks the high like that, then it pulls down. How it's rebroken this high again. Now it's pulling down. Yeah, this wicks. You see breaking lows, pulling up. Breaking wick lows, pulling up. Here it's doing the same thing too. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just needs to get away, man. This whole zone is tricky. Even if it came down, even for those cells, if it breaks that area here, it's not the most ideal situation. I might even just have to wait for it to fully break. $15-minute co-flip. If it heads above like resistance here, that's going to be 41.98. It's like looking at that range. It still needs to get through like 4,200. So volatile today. Thief eats RS-17 lakh gold pendant inspired by James Bond movie. Police wait for him to defecate. Oh, what's going on here? RS-17 lakh gold pendant. How much is this? RS-17 lakh gold pendant. RS-17 lakh. Alright, so this guy ate something. A pendant inspired by James Bond movie. Police are waiting for him to shit. The New Zealand police are waiting for a bizarre twist in a high-end jewelry heist. The recovery of Rs 17 lakh gold pendant allegedly swallowed by a thief. The 30-year-old man, whose identity has not been disclosed, is accused of gulping down an ornate Faberge octopus pendant at Partridge Jewelers in Auckland on November 28th. The limited edition piece, valued at 33,000 New Zealand dollars. Oh, was inspired by 1983 James Bond's film Octopussy. New York reposted. What the hell? Police arrested the man inside the store minutes after the alleged theft. He appeared in Auckland. That's like what, $33,000? Let's see, but did not enter. Officer assigned to monitor man until pendant is retrieved. At the time of his arrest, he underwent a medical assessment and an officer is assigned to constantly monitor the man. Authorities have confirmed that waiting for the natural digestive process to retrieve the pendant. Only 50 such pendants exist globally, crafted from gold and painted with green enamel. The piece is encrusted with 183 diamonds and 2 sapphires, standing at 8.4 centimeters tall. Oh, nice. So I wonder how this is affecting gold over here. Because it's a gold pendant. Gold remains close to 6-week high. Let's see. November ADP data shows a surprising decline of 32,000 private sector jobs, well below expectations for a 10,000 gain and marking the third drop for the month in 4 months. This represents the sharpest hiring slowdown since 2023, reinforcing concerns about a cooling labor market. The report aligned with dovish signal from Fed officials to emphasize the need to address slow job growth. Investors now turn to delayed September PCE data on Friday for further clues on monetary policy. See, gold rises on expectations for Fed rate cut. Gold edges higher in early Asia trading, but it's actually down now. Sentiment is likely supported by US payroll data, which has added to concerns about the weakness in labor markets being worse than expected, reinforcing expectations that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates. Yeah, we're expecting a bull run, chat. Like for December, I think we're due for a surprise this year, at like towards the end of the year. Gonna see like gold is gonna rally like crazy, and people are gonna be on holiday. Like, oh, look, gold is moving. Gotta go find a computer. I think we would be safer for buy wick closer above 4,200. Well, he will feel like it's to shit gold. It's a new nickname in prison. Is the gold chicken. Let's play pinball. Anyone using EAs and making money, please raise your hand. Anybody using EAs and losing money, please raise your hand. The whole class raises the hand. Could you tell me why gold didn't go up yesterday after yesterday's US Open, even though the news is positive for Fed cut? I think like gold is waiting, you know, we're still waiting on data to come out still this week, and yeah, I mean, like as we inch closer towards the FOMC on Wednesday, we're gonna get like a better idea of how much exuberance there really is. But right now it is still kind of early, you know. Still got Friday, we gotta go through the weekend, we got Monday, Tuesday. If we start moving up, like if we start seeing bullish candle closes, I think that's gonna be a lot more interesting to now expect something to happen. But you see, as of right now, price is just moving down still. But the moment we get a bullish candlestick closure, start to see something like this play out, oh, that's gonna get really interesting. So we just gotta like chill here. I can see like there's some kind of a buying pressure as well. Like price is just slowly inching upwards right now. I think like low volume, but it's trying to move bullish. Remove this. Did you watch the Nvidia founder on Joe Rogan yet? I'm 30 minutes into it so far. We'll continue more in Subway home tonight. No, I haven't. That's cool. You saw why they think AI is a bubble? It's because there are a few companies which are basically just passing around what they call is like basically like fake money, right? Fake money, and Nvidia is in the middle of it. There you got like OpenAI, you have Google somewhere around here, and how much something like some trillion. I forgot how much money has actually been passed around, but it's just literally been passed around just a few companies like this. And that's why that Michael Burry guy was from The Big Short was looking at this thing as a bubble. You know, it's actually quite interesting. He could be onto something. Could be onto something. Let's see how Nvidia's doing. See if it's still respecting that weekly support. Yeah, it's still holding the weekly support. What was that on about the AI? What you mean? Let me see if I can find the image. Yeah, I think this is the one right here. The great AI bubble. It has been claimed to be. So we're gonna zoom into this, and that's basically the image I was talking about. The Nvidia 4.5 trillion, Microsoft 3.9 trillion, OpenAI 500 billion. See, and it's just getting passed around in circles. It's kind of like if you think about what Sam Bankman-Fried did. Remember Sam Bankman-Fried? What he was doing, he was circulating the money within his company as well, and he was creating those false documents that on paper it looked like he was profitable, but he was just like circulating the money within the companies. So it's like the similar thing that's going on over here. So we're gonna see. It's actually quite interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen. Nvidia agrees to invest up to 100 billion in OpenAI. Sam Bankman-Fried. I don't know where the guy is right now. Probably playing tennis in some prison. Jordan Belfort style. Google. Sam Bankman-Fried's net worth is essentially zero, as his wealth, once peaking at approximately 26 billion, was entirely wiped out following the collapse of FTX, cryptocurrency exchange. Oh, it just changed the numbers around, the letters around. That would be TFX. Crypto exchange in late 2022. He is currently imprisoned after being convicted of fraud and has lost his wealth due to bankruptcy. Man, I feel like rich people never really lose their wealth. Like, surely he put something aside for a rainy day. Like, surely. You know? You know, that island that he used to hang out on a lot. Get a waterproof, fireproof safe. Dig up the sand and put a few millies in there. Put an air tag in there probably too. Dude was worth 26 billion. There's no way that he went straight to zero. Gotta give you credit once again for rather short-ish bias. Yeah, we're waiting. But it's like, it's giving me hope every time, and then it like starts to pull up again. Because the closest thing to a trend right now we can get is a short. Is a short. For buy, would have to wait for price to push up, daily to reflip, then keep pushing up again. Gonna need a lot more gas. Will gold bleed to 4,000/4,200 by the end of next week? By the end of week? No, I think it'll go up. Like, I want it to go up. I can't tell you because I don't have a crystal ball. You know, if I had a crystal ball, then I could tell you. But right now, the way it's set up, it's not like very obvious. Because for price to move down, it's got like the support area here, and it also has like rejection wicks. So it's actually quite difficult. It's not easy for price to move down, you know, and at the same time, it's not easy for it to move up because of this resistance. So it's kind of stuck within like a compressed area. Like you can even see the wicks, right? See how I retested that high? It's stuck. You can see the wicks even here, how it retested this low, and how the candle bodies are currently closing. It's stuck. It's stuck within these two key levels. So we need a breakout on the higher time frame. So, you know, who cares if it moves down to like 158? There's still nothing really of value around here. I think what would be interesting would be like if it broke above 4240. Broke this level, man, now we're looking at price going to this level. At least now we have some kind of a perspective. But you see right now, there's no perspective. Like this just speculating. We're just speculating now. And look at the way the lower time frames are being affected here. Like quite choppy as well. Or you can consult the magical tarot reading. Let's go to our tarot practitioner over here. Will gold bleed to 4,000/4,200 by the end of the week? All right, everybody, hold hands. Hold hands. Let's ask and find out here. This is a trading view indicator. Very powerful one. See, it's cleansing the deck right now. Now we have to pick a card. Close your eyes, pick a card. Okay, now we gotta pick several. All right. Let's go with, I don't know, what should we go with? What should we go with? Oh, I don't know what I clicked, but let's see. Thus, the answer is no. Gold shall not bleed to 4,000/4,200 by week's end. Oh, okay. So I think there's the answer. Seeker of Fortune. The exit heralds a definitive conclusion. Prepare for change. The Nine of Currencies suggests resilience, but the indicator whispers caution. The path may not align with your hopes. That's no. So what do we call this? The Nine of Currencies. See the Nine of Currencies as an assurance that you will eventually prosper if you maintain your positions. Stand firm in the face of challenges and you will achieve your gains. Amen, brother. Amen. Oh, you never knew TetraFX did this? Yeah, they got this tarots. You can buy the cards in real life too, apparently. Oh, I got my second trade of the day done. Nice. Dun, 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 dun. Ruto must go. Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think it's going anywhere. Dun, 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 dun. He's waiting on the dollar to collapse and then say, "I'm doing a great job." See this? This is me. But now let's go on the DXY and see what the DXY is doing over here. Is it getting ready to come down? Yeah, I think so. The way it looks like the dollar is shaping up to come down here too, in line with that FOMC. And we should still be at a 80. What were we at? Like 80% easing? 87. Oh no, 87%. Yeah, that looks pretty good over there. Some dollar weakness. See, Joe Rogan. Oh, that was like 14 hours ago even. How many views does it have? 779k. Yeah, this one's gonna do pretty well. God bless Joe Rogan. Like, honestly, that's only podcasts that are doing like very, very nice podcasts in my opinion. Yeah, I've always kind of been a fan of Joe Rogan, like ever since Fear Factor as well. Those saying he must go voted for him and will vote again in 2027. Yeah, I mean, it's like better the devil you know than the devil you don't, right? It's the type of thing like if you're gonna vote between Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Because, you know, we kind of understand like Trump, you know, we kind of would know what he's capable of. But other people, like, hey, you're never gonna know. You're never gonna know, especially like when they're very politically correct. Those are the ones that you should be fearful about. At least Trump says things. You know, he says things and we know what he's up to and we know what he's doing and, you know, we can even make some money out of it. These other people, these puppets, yeah, you never know what's happening really. We know Trump, we know what he's doing. We know what he's doing. From the moment he got into office, we knew what the man was gonna do. Can't understand the words she's saying. Let's see, got my second trade. This was a trade on Nasdaq, same entry model as gold, but the opposite way. But this is an A setup. The other was an A plus. A buy situation. Goldie's really struggling here. Come on, Goldie, do something. Move. I'm not going to trade this breakout here. I'm going to wait for it to first break and then confirm to me that it wants to keep moving down. Then I'm going to take it. It's like spinning. Really big range from here to here. You got support down here, resistance up here. Basically what we did for the whole of yesterday too. All of yesterday PA. Just had some few spikes up and down, but for the most part, it just moved sideways. Nothing too interesting there. as I'm breaking and retesting a higher time frame. I'm usually not talking to anybody saying they vote for him. What's this? Just a loose cannon. The tea leaves are not answering me today clearly, but I hear whispers of a huge move up at 2 minutes after the NYSE open. Yeah, so we're gonna have the New York Open. That's gonna be at 8 a.m. And then NYSE is gonna be at 9:30 a.m. Just for anybody wondering. But right now, we are still in the first hour of London Open. And since London opened, we haven't had anything. This whole hourly candle here has just been moving sideways. Good morning all. Just one question for curiosity only. Do you use Fibonacci? Yeah, I kind of use Fibonacci for other reasons than just retracements. So I think it's a pretty nice tool, but I don't use it for retracements. I use it for like maybe like managing risk or seeing how much of a range has been filled up. Because usually if a range gets filled up like 65%, then that's already pretty much done. The fib is pretty good at keeping it consistent. Hey, morning, right? Yeah, this thing's just having this minor accumulation over here. Maybe we can see a bleed soon. Got to pop out back in a bit. We'll put you in my ear on the go. Let's go. I feel like most of the time people just do that. Most of the time. All right, so let's see. Let's see here, 5-minute time frame. Oh, looks like a head and shoulders. Got a small little fakey situation up here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Price coming downtown. Coming downtown. Waiting on the daily buys to flip. Nice push there towards the last seconds of the 5-minute. Really tiny bottom wick on that too. Creating some highs. Creating some highs. Da 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 da. Institutional traders already sold gold. Oh, how do you know that? Are you in cahoots? Cahoots with them? Got Bogdanov on speed dial. Gold is dull today. .30%. We're coming down hot. We're coming down hot. We gotta hit it when the iron is still hot. That's when it's still coming down here. Come on, Goldie. It needs to do at least like maybe a 40 more pip drop. Hey, Raphael, thank you for the membership. Come on, melt. Watch 41.75. The thing is, like, even on the higher time frame here, the ranges aren't like really the greatest, but on the 30 at least it's oh, actually, wait a second, the 15-minute looked good. Oh, it's a 5-minute which is choppy. But 15-minute looked good here, breaking below that support to come down. You see? So that's why I'm waiting for these sells. Yeah, like 60, 64 pip range over there. And then this is gonna become a fakie. So actually you could just label this here. no trade zone as we wait for it to break out. So it's like just massively accumulating. You still got rejection on the highs and you have rejections on the lows too. Now it's formed this little situation where price could be squeezing some of these players over here as it create new higher high and then it's dipping back in. Maybe we can create like a head and shoulders later, but yeah, we'll see. At least breaking underneath that 8 SMA 2. Gotta get through that 30 SMA. We've got the 1 hour SMA in confluence. See the 4 hour. 4 hour reflip. Give us like a little wick fill. Wick fill to come down. Retest maybe the 4 hour SMA there. Let's see. Yeah, I think at that point, like everything should be more in confluence for sells by the time it's coming down here. SMAs, daily candle, structure, range on the HTF, at least up until the, let's see, hourly. Yeah, up until at least the hourly. So it should be good. Will it breach yesterday's daily high by tomorrow? Let's go and see. Go on the flip over here. Alright, so we're gonna flip this coin. And we're gonna choose heads. If we land on heads, it is going to breach yesterday's daily high by tomorrow. Flipping the coin and it lands on heads. Yes, correct. Now that's gonna be a good confluence because the coin flip over there has at least a 70% hit rate. At least. Gold rises. Man, gold is... Oh, got some new news. Gold slips on profit taking with focus on upcoming US data. See currency strength meter, really weak dollar over there. Weak dollar, weak gold today. Neutral unemployment claims. Today almost all markets are slow. Yes. I mean, like at least we're closer to something than yesterday was. Yeah, yesterday I feel like it was mostly like a doji candle in the daily. And then now at least there's hope. 0.30, man, this could change so fast. Like literally just in a few minutes over here. Like you're gonna be surprised how fast the market can shift. It's been holding this area for so long. It's the longer it holds, the more there's a need for a move. Oh, you see that little dump there? It's getting ready. It's gearing up. It's warming up. 0.30. Let me just clear out my chart work. See what's going on here. Some huge range. Let's go on the daily. Wouldn't you wear a different colored t-shirt? What would you like me to wear? Green, yellow, maybe some designs over there. Balenciaga. Maybe some Versace. Do you trade using support resistance? Yeah, you could say that. I mean, you know, when you're gonna look at markets, what do markets move based off of? Right? Supply and demand. What do businesses move based off of? Supply and demand. So, you know, like this is a truth. This is a fundamental truth. Supply and demand, it's something that businesses operate in, right? Something the market operates in too. So that's why I use support and resistance levels. You know, support and resistance is just more of like a refined zone. You could say like this is a demand like this, and then that's a supply, right? And then when we talk about support resistance, it just means it's a bit more refined. So you have like, you see like right over here, you have a resistance and you have another resistance right over here. As price breaks above, should be heading towards that next point. So these are levels which I think, you know, they're going to make a lot of sense. And I don't need to convince anybody about those. Support resistance, supply demand. I can talk to literally anybody, you know, anybody in any field. I can go to Wall Street today and talk to people about supply and demand and support and resistance. But what I can't do, I can't go to Wall Street today and talk to people about inverted unicorns or fair value gaps. You know, that I can't do because that's something that, you know, there's no real fundamental truth about that. You know, so I can go to Wall Street and talk about consolidations in the markets. Gold consolidating, you know, waiting for that FOMC, you know, over the coffee machine over there. And that's a general universal language that we can all speak and understand. So those are the things that I incorporate into my trading. I remove everything that is very specific to some guy who says something like fair value gap. I remove all of that rocket science from my vocabulary. Because, you know, the problem with trading, you can really go down a rabbit hole, and you don't want to go down that rabbit hole because you're never going to be able to prove anything. You just become a conspiracy head, you know? So that's why I try and remove any kind of a conspiracy over there. So support resistance, supply demand, these are things I can verify and I can see. You know, I can sit here with you guys and tell you, you know, price is ranging. Doesn't matter if you use Fibonacci's, trend lines, whatever it is that you use. I think we can all agree that price is ranging over here. You know, like when you're going to look at price and you're going to see all these wicks, like, come on, man. You must be delusional to think something else. This is not moving anywhere. Is inverted unicorn actually a thing? Yes. By the way, inverted unicorns do work. Let me tell you something. Everything in the market will work to some degree. So you have to be careful. I can sit here and make something up, right? Let me see. I don't know what. I would need a bit creativity, but I could sit here and make something up. And it's going to have like some reaction. You can have a sample size of data of it having some kind of a reaction. Just the same way as I can draw a random line on the chart like this and then look back and see, oh, look at this over here. Now all I got to do is make a word up like an FVG. And then you see, oh, look at this, another touch right here. See, we faked out below that mysterious line. And then the more back you go, you'll always find, look at this, look at how accurate this is. You know, so you got to be careful. You know, you got to be very careful when you say stuff like inverted unicorns actually work. Be very careful. It's a slippery slope you're playing. So for me, I like to stick with the fundamental truths. The raw price action, organic trading, naked charts. That's what I base my trading off of. No fugazi, no boogeymans, none of that. So you just have to build like you can build a house on whatever foundation you want to build, but you don't want to build too far up and then realize that you have to go back down to change something with the structure. What's your target for the gold by FOMC rate cut? 4,400 ATH. We're going to see a bull run next week, most likely. It's going to be start of a bull run into the first quarter. That's if we get those rate cuts in. .31% right now. Price is coming down slowly. Liquidity, how about that? Is that fake too? No, liquidity is true as well, like that one we can also see, and we can see on the chart. Usually what liquidity grabs look like are just like wicks, right? So when price breaks a wick like this and then pulls down, of course that's going to screw some people over. If like breaks a wick like this and pulls up, this is like a liquidity grab, and you see long wicks. Long wicks act in the opposite direction. You see like right here as well. Because you got people trading with smaller stop losses too, they get affected by these movements. But it usually only happens when there's like low volume or like prices heavily ranging. As you can see is the situation over here. You're most likely to get liquidity grabbed in those situations, correct? Than when price is just moving with volume. Oh, this thing's coming down. It's a 0.30. Wait, why does it look like it will hit 0.40 soon? Oh, it's hit 0.40, but it's not yet flipping. Yeah, you see right there is 0.40. Now it's changing bearish. Damn, it was exactly at 0.40. Holy. See, how much was that even so far? Yeah, that's wild. It was exactly 0.40, but if you measure it with the actual daily open there, should not have tapped 0.40 yet. But it's starting to break out now. See what the hourly is doing? Oh, we just got a new hourly open too. I hope it pulls up. I hope it doesn't bleed. Because the range on that new hourly open could just keep pushing it down. See how that hourly is still pretty fresh? So less is more in trading? Yes. It's trying to distribute. I really hope it pulls up a little bit more and creates some new structure to move down again. Yeah, exactly like that. Peaked at about 27 pips over there. It's like retesting this area where the sellers were coming in again. But you see daily bias now is flipping. See, it's right at a daily trend. You see how it's like flipping here? It's right at the daily trend. Just as it was breaking these lows. Just got the short and made about 58 bucks. Nice, nice. So 1 minute candle over here just dumped like 37 pips. It's looking for more orders in here. It's looking for more sellers. It looks like it'll hit 0.40% because it's sitting just below fizz bubble bottom drop. It will just needs compress the buyers and it will dump. Let's see. Will I use supply and demand too, along with inverse unicorns confirmations? Not logical to get a rate cut in the light of current inflation rate. Well, I mean, they think it is if it's up by 87%. What's your target for the gold by FOMC rate cut? That's all-time highs. I agree with you, brother. All the jargon they use today, they all just come down to support or resistance. Yeah, but you know the way they use it is like this, right? They would say something from here to here, that's a resistance. So that's where the problem is, because you know that's less of a resistance than this is the actual resistance. It's usually where, also if you think about supply and demand, it's where at the top or at the bottom, this would be demand. At the bottom, that would be a support that's been formed. A support, when a candle creates a bullish candle stick following a bearish, that's a support. Correct? This is a resistance when it does the opposite. So when they say like this and then they mask it to say that's the same as a resistance, that's where, you know, now it's like they're kind of messing with something. Because, okay, you're not wrong. There's no right or wrong. There's no criteria for trading, right? There's no criteria. I can say that, but you want to move correct. You don't want to move fast. You want to move correct. You don't want to waste time. You don't have time to waste of like experimentations like that. You know, we use things which have been around. You know, support, resistance, and accumulation has been around since the dawn of trading. Fair value gaps have only been around since Michael's birth certificate. So that's what I mean. You just have to be very, like, just think, you know, just think. Just use that. Just use a bit of reason. You know, you're not reinventing the wheel. I haven't reinvented the wheel. Like, to get the results that I'm getting here, there's nothing special that I've not come up with anything new. This is literally what the markets have been, and I'm trading what they've been. I didn't reinvent anything. I didn't make up anything. You know, we just give things names in our playbooks to make a little bit more sense, so you know what the setup is. But it's like literally the same things the markets have been doing for since the beginning. You know, they've been consolidating, they've been distributing, accumulating, distribution. That's all that these results are here. You know, it's much harder to be a pioneer than it is to emulate success, right? So if you're ever going to be an entrepreneur, the probability you're going to become Steve Jobs or the next Steve Jobs is so low. You are most likely better off just copying what other successful people have been doing. What's up with USD/JPY? Someone is sparking it bad. Oh, let's see. Is also the XY still pushing on real good? Let's see, JPY, USD/JPY. USD/JPY seems chill. It's 0.18% on the daily. Doesn't seem like it's doing too much. Actually. Oh, but that's a nice sell-off. Yeah, it's a very nice sell-off. It's still 0.18%. Wait, does that make any sense? 0.9. There must be a gap. Wait, let me see what's going on here. Is there a gap from here to here? Oh, no, that's about 0.19. Okay. So it only peaked to the 30s. Here's the JPY. Looks like it's selling off. It peaked to like, yeah, about 30, 0.30-ish. Like gold's now gone back into the gulag. It's made this like massive consolidation here. Um, man, this hourly could have dumped really nice too. I think it's because, you know, when a candlestick closes like this and it doesn't have a bottom wick, there's no range for this candle to move down. You see, so there's no breadcrumbs over here to confirm momentum. Because if it had a wick, at least it could break that wick and confirm momentum. But since there's no wick over there, then there's nothing. It just reduces probability. So it's still kind of like stuck. You know, these levels of support resistance are quite tight still. You got resistance up here. You got support down over here. Like this whole general zone is really tight. That's why you're seeing on the intraday time frame is the way we're behaving, right? There's like a fakey. Like there's pure V-shaped reversal there. Boom, boom. So like the people still holding the breakout down here. Institutional traders are still dumping gold. I hope so. If it can come down a bit more, that would be nice. Just by like these lows by 41.86. Where'd you get your information though? KG Trend Wave FX. Where'd you get your information for? What website? Oh, we're just reading candles. Yeah, price coming down. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 bearish candles in a row. Break below that 4200 level over there. So that also below this like the previous daily resistance zone here. Yeah, let's see, let's see. Tonight, oh man, this will be so good right here. This will be so nice for the break. It's like a 36 pip range there. All right, starting to break out of this accumulation. It wants to. It just needs to get through that wick by 41.88. There we go. Just got the break. So yeah, this would be nice if it happened a little bit lower. Still pretty nice overall structure here. Let's see if we can distribute down a bit more, fill some of this range, and then gonna hop onto this bus again. Because you know the first bus was like, you know, it missed something. It was so much volume. Really nice play over there. It did push quite a bit, like maybe 27 pips. Then it pulled back, it retraced, and then we want to see it continue to move towards the downside here now. A little bit more sustainably, because you know sometimes price doesn't just move in one direction like all at once. So like pull back, create structure, and then move, and then create structure, then move. Why use 50 SMA and 8, not numbers, if I may ask? Not other numbers. Oh, because those work like really good together in Confluence. Like the way I use them, for example, I got a whenever price is right underneath or above the SMA, like this, it creates like really nice pushes. There's something I noticed like over time. When I was learning about moving averages, I found like the 8 and the 50, especially the crossovers and stuff like that, they work really nice together. Because the 50 is one that's also like a standard, you know? The 50 is a standard. Like people usually use 50 or the 200 moving average. Most like times when you hear people talk about moving averages on news, they're usually looking at stuff like, you know, the 200 or the 50. Those like standard. It's not random like I chose like 42. You understand? So like the 50 is really nice. The 8 works really good because it's more like closer to price action. We're trying to get as close to price action without being too close and without being not close enough. Right? So over time and a little bit reiterations and seeing how price behaves with my entry models, that was a good balance. 50 as a standard, the 8 as something we can use if you want to trail a position, for example, as well. The moment you start breaking it, it's showing like lower potential pullbacks, potential stronger pullbacks. So that 8 is like a bully SMA. I call it like the bully SMA. It gives you a hint of how much volume could be coming in. See, like right here, we got a potential kiss of death on that 8 right above these wicks. And they just act as a form of dynamic support or resistance too. So yeah, something I've seen work pretty nice. And it's just confluence, right? We never base a trade off of them. Like you can trade without them, but it's obviously nice to have that additional area in the market where you might see a reaction. Hey, what's happening, Vic? Hey, what's up, Josh? Well, Schwartz. I heard a lot of 20. Oh, I heard a lot of 21 SMA. Yeah, 21 SMA too. EMA 9 and 21 holds it very well. Come on, gold. It really wants to play inside of this massive accumulation it's formed. From this wick to that wick, it's like 130 pips. I think it'll take some time for an entry, I see. Now, we're going to be surprised here. Like this candle here also just moved like 37 pips in 1 minute. So we're waiting on some similar action like that. Like either one of these minute candles can start giving us a drive. But definitely not the cleanest PA today. Kind of like just trading the gulag. When you say kiss of death, that's regards to 8 SMA. What does that mean? Not only the 8, but also the 50. Like if any one of those two SMAs are right underneath the candle or above the candle like this, that's a kiss of death right there. See like what it's kind of doing right now? Like right below the candle, usually like springs it up. And then you see again, another kiss of death. So it's stuck in between those two kiss of death. Stuck in between them. Come on, just dump it. Somebody called Bogdanov already. So I get it. Just, you know, just calm down. Come down like this. Sit down. Come on. Don't go back up. There's not much. There's not much for gold to do upwards. You know, like you got this resistance right over here. If it comes down, at least it's got like some nice clean range from here to here. That's like 27 pip points. Small little accumulation situation that there too. So it's waiting on a distribution from this general region. I think like the cells will look a lot cleaner though. I feel like it's already tried to move up a few times and it really struggled to move up and then eventually it did dump. So let's see if we can get that follow through. When is the unemployment claims? That's gonna be at like 8:30. So 30 minutes into New York. You're long on gold, 41.77. Oh, still holding from... Wow, why do you need such big moves? I don't understand. I always find it like safer to get like smaller moves. Like if we're just swimming from this island to this island, it's a lot safer to swim from this island to this island. It's a lot harder to swim from this island all the way down to this island. Like from here to here. It's quite a big distance to travel. Oh man. Today gold is at SL hunting. Yeah, it's just been mopping people up here. Even I got mopped up this morning before price went in my direction, unfortunately. So there was a bit of a shock in the water today. You can also see it the way it's like acting here. But I think I'll reduce my TPs. I'll just be securing at like 20 pips because like this week basically prices just kept hitting our 20 pip target and then pulling up. It looks like the volume is slowing down, so I just gotta make a small adjustment there. Even this trade would have hit our target, like we took the sell over here. But the volume is slightly slowing down for the much larger targets that I like to see price push. So I think I'll just be going like 20. Like tighten the stops too. Like trading's all about adapting, right? When there's big volume, you're gonna adapt. On the small volume, you're gonna adapt. It's just like trade what the condition is. You're not changing a strategy. You're just like you're adapting to it. Strategy doesn't change. Entry models are still the same thing. The way we manage risk will also still be the same. Probably a day trader of all 3 sessions. London has been the crappiest lady. I don't know. Like for me, I feel like it's been okay. It's just been fine. It's just been fine. It's like this week also London's been really good. Like it's been okay. It's just those little adaptations every now and then you just gotta catch on like soon enough. It's breaking the highs, trying to break the highs accumulation. I hope that's a liquidity grab right there to bring it down. That's what it's been doing a lot of today. It's like breaking key wick highs and then like pulling down, or quick key wick lows and then pulling up. Like Asia is fun and NY is wild, but London is insecure girlfriend that doesn't know what to really do. It's feeling the effects, you know, because of the red folders. Usually we're getting red folders during the New York session time. So, you know, like early Asia, pre-London, there's room to move, right? But when London opens, we're already getting closer towards the red folders. Basically, it's like the waiting lobby that you get put into. See, like we've been getting a lot of these red folders, and we are waiting on these numbers to be coming out. So like tomorrow we have again core PC price index. Today we got unemployment claims. So that's why London feels the heat sometimes. That's why on the open, usually on the market London open, I would rather get my trades like sooner and then not have to deal with the waiting that comes later. So you get like really nice pushes during like the open. And then the next nicer pushes ideally would just be like the pre-New York time. Like just a small window of opportunity before red folders come out. But like today, it seems like it's just consolidating for the NY or something. Like the news. But even the news is not such a big deal because the numbers aren't even that significant, to be honest. They're most likely going to come out neutral. You can even see how the previous numbers came out here. Quite neutral too. Not much of a difference between 216 and 219. really forcing issues here. We still gotta break through that resistance. These resistance points from that accumulation. Would have been a lot easier for you to move down. Got some support there on that 8 SMA. On the 15. Gotta get through the hourly one. Let's do some fresh analysis here. You can see where hourly is heading towards resistance. Not enough room to move down, at least on the hourly. This guy might be aiming towards that resistance here by 40, just slightly below 4,200. If it wants to trade back into that range. That's the only place that will make sense. Because you gotta buy it. Like here, it's still quite tight from here to here. Also, not much down there. So there will be this key significant structural break by 41.98. It's all booby traps here today. Let's see right here. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is one big one right here. 7. These are all the booby traps. 8. You can tell. You can just tell by the way the wicks are breaking and then pulling back. Maybe one here. 9. Really choppy. There's a pretty clean long if you zoom out of the support on the left. I feel like these were much nicer longs in the morning. Like you see, it's a pretty obvious, nice little clean range here. Then for price to keep moving up towards that resistance. And then ever since, it's just been doing this. Yeah, you know, the problem is like when you're gonna look at the chart and you're in a situation like this, the market will always kind of show you some kind of a trade, right? Because you're gonna force yourself into taking a position because of waiting. So it's really good. It's really good at forcing you to see entries too. I mean, like, there's nice little breakouts happening here, but yeah, not really too keen on these. I wanted this to happen like but on the opposite direction. Like this. That would have been nice. Because now the daily would have been at like 0.40%. Then I would just be waiting for like some kind of a re-entry over here to keep pushing price down. See, dollar steady near 5-week low, euro at 7-week high. The US dollar was steady near 5-week low. Investors have also been weighing the prospects of White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett taking over Fed Chair Powell's term ends when Powell's term ends in May. Oh man, by the second quarter, we're not gonna have Uncle Pow Pow anymore. Yes, President Donald Trump said this week he will unveil his pick to success Powell early next year, extending a months-long selection process despite previously claiming he had already decided on a candidate. What will be decisive for the dollar, though, is whether there will be new hints regarding the direction of monetary policy. Fed rate cut next week is already priced in. That could be the sells, you know, like whenever we get news coming out, you're going to see a pricing in. So that's a reason to why maybe the gold has been retracing down like this. Pricing in some longs soon. So it's still part of the analysis. If you watch our analysis video, our recent one on the market structure, how we're either looking at price to do this, to create a resistance, and then to move up, right? Or we're just going to range for a bit as we head towards FOMC and then break out to move bullish. Buy the rumor, sell the news. How about DAX? DAX, no, I don't really like.
We don't do that here.
DAX, but this looks nasty. Like huge gaps and stuff. It could be the broker. Let's see. DAX is quite volatile, isn't it? Kind of whiplashing here. Let's see on the daily. Daily DAX is 0.30%. Oh, but DAX daily looks nice to start heading up soon. Like starts breaking above that daily resistance. Let's see that. Looks like we did some analysis here once before. What is this? It's a weekly time frame. Oh, it's got that break and a retest over here on the DAX. Break and a retest. I feel like DAX, if anything, has a better probability to move up there. Weekly is pulling back quite significantly too. I mean, overall volume is heading towards the upside anyway on DAX. You got the weekly pulling up like this, like a doji, but looks like it's ready to do a wick fill on this previous weekly candle. But on the daily, you got clean range for DAX to break above here and then move up. So I'll be looking more like for buys. I think buys would like play out really nice into next week. DAX is a money taker. Definitely gearing up for something. And Goldie is going back to becoming a doji. Holy, look at this. 1, 2, 3. You know, the thing is, like, as we're ending towards the end of the week over here, we might start to see some daily candlesticks finally flip. Because we're just at 4,200. Finally flip, create some kind of a support as we're getting ready for Wednesday next week. It feels like the selling pressure is coming to an end there. Vic, do you know why your concepts work? Because it's just a pattern you've spotted over time. Yeah, I know why they work. It's because usually if price loves clean areas, like clean traffic, right? We call it clean traffic. Like price loves zones like these, loves to fill those kind of zones. And then coupled with how price moves when there's volume distribution, typically it happens after phases of accumulation. Right? If you think about accumulation, it also should make sense to you. Like you're accumulating, you're getting orders, and then eventually you just distribute them, right? So even that in itself, that concept is quite understandable. It's self-explanatory, and yeah, I think that's why it works. That's why it works. So I'm trading things that basically, you know, that make sense to me, and also just like even outside of trading, that makes sense, and not just in trading. And you see it happen on all instruments at all time frames. So yeah, it's a pretty big hit rate there. Because it's harder to catch moves when they're moving randomly. You know, like when price just moves randomly. Like we're all trying to catch like these moves, right? And then you always try and track it to where it came from. So I used to track these moves and see, okay, so what happens whenever price has some kind of a push? You know, how can we get these pushes? Because you don't necessarily want to trade this in here. You're trying to catch distribution, because like price looks differently when it's paying people than it does when it's just not doing anything. So the whole idea was like, how can we avoid this when it's not doing anything and get this when it's doing something? Or you see like this right over here when it's doing something. So then you got to investigate. You got to investigate the lower time frames and all time frames, and then see what's happening there. Right, so again, like we're trying to catch this, right? That's what distribution looks and feels like when price is moving in a certain direction. That's why whenever we take these trades, they're very nice probability running trades. You know, very nice. Like this trade over here just mopped up the whole range. You see, very nice probability running trades. They like this. Look at this. Huge runners. Because what are we trying to do? We're trying to catch this. An objective this. Where it's like you can all see it. You can all see when price makes a movement. Ideally, that's what you want to be looking at as a profit taking. So kind of like, you can't always avoid, like sometimes you get these setups inside these ranges and then you just secure what the market gives you, of course. But the idea is this, right? Again, that's what we're trying to get. That objective movement. Like you get over here as well. So the more you're going to analyze and see where they're coming from, then you're going to see those patterns. Yeah, those recurring patterns. Then that becomes your edge, right? That becomes now your entry model. And whenever you take a trade, that's what you're expecting. So that's why whenever we take our trades, we don't typically, if you notice, we don't typically deal with too much drawdown on our entries. Because it's already refined to a point where it's we don't need to have that necessary drawdown. But when you're not refined, obviously I also deal with a lot of drawdown in the past. When you don't have like a really refined strategy, you're just kind of waiting for it to play out, you know. Like that's what some people do. They just put like a fat stop loss and then just kind of like waiting for it to play out. So they got a lot of drawdown and they got to wait. So I kind of want to remove all of that because even the way my psychology is, I can't hold trades. I'm not really good at holding trades. I don't like holding trades. So I try to be as efficient as possible. Why is the drawing tool in those yellow boxes so satisfying? Yeah, man. Like now, Goldie, you see how it's moving up? Like, where can you track it to? You gotta track this animal, right? How's price doing over here? Anything? Is there anything interesting that it did? Before it started doing, whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you running? Why are you running? Why are you running? Was there anything interesting that it did over there? Now that's a question you ask yourself as you are forming a strategy. Let's see if you can replicate that. I can't hold two. This is my problem. Yeah, holding is... I only hold when I need to hold. Right? Most of the time I'm looking at scalps. They're really flirting with this 141.98 resistance here. Following that kiss of death. You see that was a kiss of death on that 8 SMA. And then look at how that propped it up. Boom. See that? No. Hey, Gbpjpy, thank you for the sub. I think your 16 pip rule is genius because even on a manipulation, you don't get screwed over. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm thinking about like just reducing a bit more now for the London session trades to like 20. To just keeping at 20. So just like a little above 16, but just enough so we can get in and get out, you know, because this week we've had already profitable trades, but the problem is they're not... I got really used to volume, right? So like for me, 30 pips was like 10 pips. It's like, all right, we're just going to hold it for 30. But now I can see volume is dying, so we got to reduce it again. Just go with 20. Just a few above 16. Like even this one did like 27. You see, it would still not have hit. It would still not have hit the 30 mark when it distributed during the Wait, where is this? Kind of got confused here. That initial break when we were waiting for it to flip to 20, it got to like 27. I mean, when we wanted it to flip on the daily to negative 40, and then it broke and it went down to 27 pips instead of the 30. So you're gonna realize the market is very intentional, like it's very efficient. That's why we also have our rules like 65% of the range. Yeah, and like how we saw on yesterday, how like 65% of the range can like get hit and then have that efficient reaction. It's the same reason why you put your stop loss to break even when you put your stop loss to break even, right? Because you're expecting that price has moved enough to just keep moving. And that's why most of the time, once you do that, you can save yourself more heartache from those trades which don't play out. The ones which you get faked out on. Oh, nice breakout. I was off the chart. But yeah, this is the one still distributing from down here. There's a good SMAs holding it too. So yeah, definitely reasons to why we even use 16 pips. Like there's always reason. Like even if you watch our last simulation, I think we did that one was for free on YouTube. You're gonna see the value of 16 pips. How we had some trades nearly stop us out and then go and hit our take profits. And then even if you watch the previous one besides that one on the WAP database, you're gonna say, I think there was one trade in there as well with just 16 pip, like being very accurate. Very accurate. That's why you find some people maybe they like to break even like as you're approaching like 20 pips. Because usually after such a move like that, the market, you know, it can keep paying you out. It can definitely keep paying you out. Like, you know, a lot of our trades always just keep paying us out. But it's an area where it likes to mitigate. Breakout trading, most unprofitable strategy ever. Y'all's liquidity. Yes, okay, that's true. I'm not going to argue with you. You're correct. Always liquidity. That is true. What can we do now? Maybe you're going to do the opposite then. Instead of taking, if it's always liquidity, instead of taking the breakout, take the opposite trade. And that's going to be your strategy right there, sir. When do markets pick up again? They're slowly picking up. I think Monday till today, it hasn't necessarily been a bad week, right? So right now it is trying to flip on the daily. We're at a very important area there on the daily, because you know this is considered a pricing in. How price is moving down like this because we're still expecting rate cuts next week. So just wait, like once his dailies start flipping and closing bullish, then we're really gonna see volume start to pick up again. Right now we're still in this, like, we're kind of buying time, you know, because it doesn't make sense for us to move really anywhere. It's like risk off because we got some pretty important news events coming in. We also got the core PC tomorrow, and then that's gonna be the weekend. So it's like more risk off, you know. And then Monday is going to come about. Then I think that's when it's really going to start rolling in. Like Monday, is it coming Tuesday, Wednesday? The 16 pips for SL or TP for both. That would just be a 1-to-1. But usually even like good trades shouldn't even come down to 16 typically. Like once the breakout happens, it won't even like pull down that much. Like even if you look at this one, see, did this one even pull down? Boom, boom, boom. All right, so it broke. Yeah, just say pull down only about like 10 pips. Like if it pulls down like 16 pips, usually that's a big pullback. Like it shouldn't even pull down that much, because I'm just trying to catch stress-free easy trades, you know. That's typically how my best trades play. Let's see, now we got clean traffic over here. See, it's attracted to these zones. It's looking to fill up some of this range. It shouldn't pull down. Most of your good trades are not going to leave you in drawdown. Because also you're trying to like get a little piece of the cake, correct? Like you don't need the whole slice. Like you just get a piece every day. For me, I try end every week as a kind of goal in my head, at least like 5% per week. You know, so right now I'm at like 4%. So I'm trying like 5% a week. Just a slice of the cake. This month I haven't held any runners yet. Might want to hold a runner sometime when I see a good opportunity. She a runner, she a track star. She gonna run away when it gets hard. T-T-T-T-T. What kind of music you listen to? Listen to a lot of different kind of stuff. It's kind of music. Oh, but I probably can't see it on stream that well. Maybe we go like full screen it. Hey, what do we got here? There's a lot of like everything. A lot of everything. Oh, Mac Miller here. Rolling Stones. Some J. Cole. Jimi Hendrix. Joey Badass. Yeah, a lot of stuff. A lot of different artists. Rufus. This playlist here is about 9 hours, almost 10 hours long. This playlist. I also got other playlists here. I got like just rap playlist. Got 21 Savage, Metro Booming, A$AP Rocky, Notorious B.I.G., Kanye West, Ken Carson. We got Kid Cudi, of course. What else we got over here? We got some country. What's that? Midland, Morgan Wallen, Chris Stapleton, Post Malone. Yeah, it's a country, and then just got some, what you call like deep house. A few deep house tracks here too. But I feel like Mac Miller's a vibe. I just got a whole playlist of Mac Miller here too. Mac Mizzle. Play reggae music for light up your spliff. Hey, spliff. That's a word I haven't heard in a while. You know what a spliff is? I think a spliff is when you're mixing your ganja there with tobacco, right? And a spliff is a UK term. That's what they say in the UK. Can I get a spliff, mate? Can we light up a spliff? What are we looking out for now that price broke structure to the upside? To be honest, like the daily is arranging. A spliff or a biff? Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. The daily is it's at 0.07% right now. It's still gearing up. Like I feel like it's getting ready, Chad. Like gold is literally setting. It's getting ready for a big a kind of like a breakthrough soon. I don't know about these sells. These sells could probably be done. We might start to see finally a daily support being formed. Then we're gonna have like some Freaky Friday price action without core PC data, and then man, rolling into next week. That's going to be the beginning of a bull run. Like we're really expecting bull run to kick off from sometime next week. So let's hope everything goes according to plan. Let's hope we get those rate cuts. That would be the best thing that could happen to end off the year. If we actually got the rate cuts. Holy. How can you pull backs after has moved like that? My favorite song is Wagwan Delilah. Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in New York City? Like low-key, I had a guitar cover when I was a kid. When that song came out on YouTube, man, it had like 30,000 views. But that was back in, I think like 2012, probably. Somewhere around that time. And that song was popping. I've only been trading for 9 months. Do markets usually act differently over December, back to normal in Jan? It's just all about being cautious, right? Because if you're expecting bank holidays, then yeah, you have to be looking out for times of low volume. So in terms of do they act differently, any one of these months here could be like a low volume month. Could be a really crappy month. It's just the idea is on December, you're going to be seeing more profit taking. So if market's just going to move up like this, December is a time where people would be profit taking, right? That's the kind of idea. And then volume would kind of die out, maybe consolidate because of like higher time frame traders as well. The people who just trade throughout the year like this. That's a lot of institutional traders because they move a lot of money, correct? So for them, it's like they're looking at these higher time frame swings. The idea is towards the end of the year, they're kind of like securing some positions as we're heading over to the new year. But it also depends on the context of where the market is currently. Like right now, we're expecting rate cuts. So you see, for December, yeah, you're going to see maybe some profit taking naturally. But at the same time, money doesn't sleep. Money never sleeps. So we're already looking for continuations get stuck in early this year. So next year, people are already going to be stuck into their positions as price continues to follow through for them. You know, like money never sleeps. It's not just because it's a bank holiday, like money's gonna take a power nap or something like that. It depends on the context of like what kind of opportunities are present. So I think like if we get these rate cuts, then obviously, you know, we're gonna be looking to see if we can make some more money there. If we don't, then yeah, we might be a bit cautious about any low volume. But you just have to show up, you know. Your job is not to question it. Your job is to show up. Like last December, I think I just took a break. I did like 18 trades, but in December 2023, I took like 31 trades. Your job is just to show up because you don't know what the market's going to give you on that given day. You know, like this is December 2023, you got like 30 trades. You don't know, you just show up. And it's usually the days that you don't want to show up are the days that you get lucky, right? Or you get that really good trade. Yeah, 90% of trading also is just showing up. Like, for example, I think I showed up to the bank holiday. Remember, guys, like we had a bank holiday recently. That was still in November. I think, let me see where this was here. That's JPY bank holiday. Yeah, we had on Thursday, 27th. Remember this bank holiday I showed up? And there was still volume on that day. Let me see if I took any trades even. On the 27th, yeah, on the 27th, I had just about one trade, made about almost 2%. But yeah, this was a good trade over there. And then the next day, where there was no bank holiday, on the Friday it ranged. So bank holiday had something, but then the Friday had like nothing. I don't know. So it just like build a good habit of just showing up. Especially so much more important because if this is only 9 months you've been trading, man, it's even more important you show up. You know, it's more important so you can see that for yourself and not just based, because I'm pretty sure you heard that from somewhere or something, that someone told you that December is going to be low volume and there's not going to be opportunities. Man, don't listen. You got to show up. You got to see for yourself. See how price moves, because a lot of the time I used to listen to these things about red folders, not trading red folder days, and I used to miss my trade setups on red folder days, and then it would be almost impossible to get a day on the economic calendar where there was nothing, where I could just trade without any folders, because for the first 2 weeks of every month you're gonna get a lot of folders. It's only the last 2 weeks, but you see these also you're getting red folders more here because all this data had been delayed, right? Like you're, for example, getting ADP in the mid of the month over here, which is usually not the case. But typically speaking, the first 2 weeks are full of red folders, and then the last 2 weeks, not as much, right? But back in those days, I used to miss like almost so many days, so many setups, because someone told me that red folders are days you should avoid. So I would say just show up, man. Yesterday we were on our way. Say I showed up every day, taking 2 funded payouts on the 200k account October, November. Struggling a bit end of November till now, so just wondering. Oh, okay. Yeah, the reason now, whenever you see yourself like struggling, you now gotta ask yourself the question is, why is price behaving the way it's behaving? Don't cop out and say, oh, because it's December holidays, right? That's an easy answer. That's what everybody without like also a bit of experience would just cop out and tell you, right? But the real answer is right now the way it's behaving, maybe it's just because we're waiting for something. Now you gotta dig into the macro fundamentals, right? That's what's moving the actual pair. You can see this not as a lens of December or low volume, but a different lens of actually just waiting for something. Let's get that thing, because that's the last thing that we need for this year. This year, it's like literally the last event. That's a main event right there. FOMC next week, Wednesday. That's it for the year. So once we get our answer, I think then we're gonna know. Until then, expect some accumulation, a little turbulence. I'm 5 months in and been looking at a lot of indicators. Now, I just keep 2 SMAs and think what people are doing. Nice. Yeah, just like let's look at that. Look at the stuff that really matter is price action, reading candlesticks, and following the news. Like those are the two. Like trust me, that's not gonna change. Especially like looking at the news. Fine, price action. Maybe as you're still in your early stages, that's gonna take different shapes and form. Like as you get more experience. But one thing that won't change is gonna be keeping up with the news and seeing how that affects price. Like if you got geopolitical tensions, Russia, Ukraine, or elections, y'all is gonna keep using that. Like for me, the day I found the power in that was I used to use Twitter notifications. So whenever the Pfizer vaccine came out and I saw the way GJ moved, it moved so parabolic. That was the first time I ever saw such a effect on the market based off news. I was in a sell during that time, and top right hand side was a Pfizer vaccine, and then obviously I lost the sell, and then price just skyrocketed. You know what I mean? Like it just skyrocketed because now, you know, people are not getting lockdowns anymore, and the UK was really hit by those lockdowns. It pretty much looked like this. If I was going to find a structure that could resemble that day, yeah? So just imagine this. I was looking for a sell. It was somewhere like around here like this. This is exactly how it was. And then it got like some long profits, like used to trade differently as well. And then that happened. Then like the Pfizer vaccine thing came out like somewhere around here when it was in a bit of profit, and then it just slowly started to go up against me, and then it just started to do this. Like JJ just started to do that and just kind of move up. Like damn, okay. So that's when it clicked. That's when it started clocking to me, you know? That's when it started clocking to me. Like, so you're telling me if I was a bit more mature in these markets and I was able to understand that and what that meant, I could have made money on this move. You know what I mean? Because I imagine those people who've been trading for years, who understand what that would mean for the pair when something like that happens. Because also COVID was a black swan event, right? So then that made me very intrigued. But I still didn't know how to follow up with the macros. So I used to go on Google, and it looked a lot more different, and it's harder to follow when you don't know, like when you think you have to Google everything yourself. But that's not the case. But that's just the way it started. And I was like, damn, okay, this is nice. Then I started looking at the FOMC. Here comes the daily flip. That daily about to flips here soon. And I started looking at interest rates. Then I started pulling back the onion layers. I was thinking, okay, what makes sense? Geopolitical tensions, because Russia, Ukraine. We got interest rates. Rates also made a lot of sense during that time. Those were the two things that I was focusing on. And then because of COVID, we're just kind of like keeping tabs of it. So that's never going to change. But of course, your skill is going to change when it comes to reading structure and price action. That's going to shift. But at least you will now know. You will now understand better. Like you'll start looking at it from a different perspective. And think of macro more like an overall effect. Don't think of it just as a one case scenario, because that's another thing a lot of us retail traders do. We learn about the economic calendars on Forex Factory, and then for us, news is basically at 8:30 or 8 p.m. 8 a.m. and that's for us what reading news is. NFP comes out and then we see like a fast move. But when you think of macros, think of it as something that's happening over a long duration of time. It could be days, weeks, months, and it's kind of put your head. It puts your head on straight, so you're more in line. And just leave these ones for the gamblers, you know. Like these events are just for gamblers. These events are only there to guide us, the macro fundamentals. That's how I look at it. These smaller core PCE, price index, unemployment claims, they're just there to guide the macros. You know, but for most retail traders, it's easier to just trade something like that. Like 8:30, you want to trade unemployment claims, core PC price index. And I'm only saying this because, man, in my whole year, my first year of trading, like I didn't get many mentors who were talking about the macros. They were always talking about Forex Factory, Forex Factory, Forex Factory. But to me, it's like it didn't make sense, you know. You can't make sense of the numbers on Forex Factory sometimes too, because the NFP will say that dollar should be strong, and then you're gonna see, for example, dollar comes out weak, and at the same time, gold is moving down. So you start to wonder, like, what's actually going on here? So it's definitely not perfect. Hey, Sunny, thank you for the sub. Like, how many live streams do you watch? Like, honestly, where I think this is surely one of the only live streams where we're actually always looking at how the fundamentals are. Like, we're always looking at it by the hour as things are unfolding, and then seeing what people are talking about in terms of psychological marks or what people think, the overall sentiment. Like, how many live streams actually like teaching you this? Because when I was learning, and no one was teaching me that stuff, so that's why I teach it here. You know, maybe some of the live streams are going to mention it once and then they're going to leave it like that. But here we're literally following by the hour and by the day. And also like showing you why price is acting like this. And it's not based off opinion. It's none of this is my opinion. It's just what's there. That's the thing about trading. Like the information is accessible to everybody. It's just like who's better at using it. Wamwuli, thank you for the sub. Don't go to your job because there's going to be a lot of traffic. Thanks for all your insights, mate. Welcome, mate. Even covers dude who ate the gold pendant. So yeah, just here, I guess. That's actually a funny one, you know, like we don't typically get these. I think just cause it's like has to do with gold and it's a funny story. Who's posted this? Money control. We don't really get like those entertainment style ones. It's either just gonna be the same. Like if there's nothing new, it's just, they just basically repeat the same thing in different words. Because it's just waiting, you know. Like trading is just all about waiting, but they gotta do their job, you know, and just like post something. So they'll just post like you see, like right now, since price is not doing anything, maybe we're gonna see something about 4,200 soon. 4,200. Since we're like flirting with 4,200. Might see something about it soon, but right now there's nothing. You have a different strategy, but I'm always listening to your streams. I learned so much about general trading knowledge. Welcome, welcome. They should send in a chart every now and then here on the Discord. Wow, 4 years ago. Whoa, what a blast from the past. This is a guy I used to watch. Trade with Monty. This guy hasn't streamed in 4 years? This is the first time I ever sent a chart on stream. And then I was nervous that day. I sent in a chart and it looked like a funny chart. So on the chart, I used to use a lot of these circles. These circles to kind of show level support. Like market structure. I used to like do circles. I don't remember why I was doing circles. I used to do circles. Send him a chart over there. This guy 4 years ago. Holy. What happened to this guy? Y'all know who this is? Trade with Monty. See if any OGs in the chat. It's a different time, let me tell you. He is Raja's student? Yes, I think so. So you got one OG in here? Ivik, I've only been looking to your streams, but actually what you're expecting the market to give you to take a trade. Do you have videos on YT or Discord outlining that? Yeah, we got videos on the WAP database and the exclusive mentorship, and we have them on YouTube as well. Like, just go on my YouTube, watch the simulation sessions. That's a gold trading masterclass playlist. And I think it's a pretty nice expert level teaching. We're going to do a simulation this weekend as well. You see, people just like the result. They don't really like to put in the work. Like, some people are like incredibly lazy. You would be surprised. You would be honestly surprised. Like, most people just want the result. That's why you shouldn't put anybody on. Like, whenever you become successful in what you do, that's when your friends are gonna come to you and they're gonna start asking you to put them on. Don't put them on, because they just want to take away from you what you've built. Right? They just want the easy ways. But when you were building it, nobody wanted to be put on. So that's just mentality. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. That's just how life works. You know, so I think it's quite easy to already differentiate yourself from a lot of people just by simply knowing that. It's just simply knowing that you got to do what most people don't want to do, correct? Like, that's literally it. That's all that you have to do. Just do what most people don't want to do. There's nothing secret about success. This thing is still trying to rip up here. Hovering at 42. Negative 0.05 still on the daily. Still almost about to flip. Almost about to flip, like 20 more pips. Do you think Roger Banks focuses more on marketing now that he has a big following than trading? Yes. Yeah, I think so. Because you know what happens? This guy's been doing it for like 10 years. And he's, you still get the same questions every day. You still deal with like the same mentality every day. So like for 10 years, repeating the same thing over and over and over again, which I get, it's like as you're growing, new people find you. But it kind of gets exhausting. And that's the reason why wealthy people don't teach poor people. Like, not in a bad way. I'm not saying it in a negative way. But I'm just saying there's a reason why wealthy people don't, at some point they don't want to deal with the mentality of the masses. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying this in a negative way, correct? I'm just saying it the way it is, just like with no filters. Because there's a lot. If I made, for example, like the mentorship free, there would be so many people in there shitting on it, complaining. These are the kind of people you attract. Like when you make something free, that's the majority of the crowd is going to be attracted like that. But when you put a paywall, you only filter the people who actually want to start to try and invest in themselves and like learn something. So for a guy who's been doing it for like 10 years and he's built such a big following, so you can imagine that's just been, it gets to a point where it just becomes like very, because you're doing a lot of work and you're giving a lot of value, but it doesn't feel like it's been appreciated. Just the same way like when you're making a lot of videos for people and then people don't watch the videos and then they ask you questions, right? That can get to you sometimes. It can be quite frustrating because there's a whole section there designed for you to go through and then ask your questions afterwards, but then you're just gonna join something and then quickly just start asking questions, which is a wrong mentality towards things. But like, look, the way I look at things, if I'm gonna go to a job interview, I'm going to the job interview knowing about the business. I'm not going to go to the job interview and start asking questions. They're gonna ask you, so what do you know about this industry? What do you know about this business? Right? It shows a good character. And I think when you operate in that space, that mental space, you have to have a lot of patience, I would say, with people. Like you have to have so much patience with people. Like it's not even a joke. It's an up and down, every day, putting yourself up there, pride swallowing job that you have to do. And now imagine doing that for 10 years, right? At some point, you're just like, man, like most people don't want to learn. But the thing is, like, you get joy from the small group of people who actually learn and then start to get some progress. So that's kind of what you're doing it for. Because when I stream, I'm also not streaming for everybody on the stream because not everyone's going to listen to me. I just stream for like 1 or 2 people. That's why when I started streaming, I only had like 5 people watching me. So it's the same thing here. Like even we can have 1,000 people on stream, but I'm just trying to get to like 1 or 2, maybe 5 people who are actually going to take it to the next level. And that's what we do all of that for. Some people are not made to teach people. I could not do it. Oh, you're very good at it. Thank you, Luke. Let's see over here. I was actually quite surprised that Michael Burry actually mentioned about the AI thing becoming a bubble when it was still quite early, because most of the time, like, people who are really good at what they do, they don't typically tell people about it until afterwards. Till after the fact. Because when was the last time a billionaire told you about something they were going to invest in? And like Warren Buffett is not going to be out here giving signals, you know what I mean? But it's kind of sick that Michael Burry did this, like when Nvidia was still pretty, it's still in the inception. If this is a true bubble, then a price is due for some really big pushes to the downside. Like this is just a start. It hasn't really broken anything of key significance yet over there. How can I flip my $30? Oh, you're gonna go flip it in a casino, sir. Just go and put it on some roulette or something. That's what you gotta do it. Thank you for all you do for us. There's no amount of money you can attach to that. Thank you, Momar, for that humbling comment. I just loaned some money to my wife's family 2 minutes ago and never get married, guys. Yeah, that's you got to pay some tax over there. There are so many talkers and less givers in the world. Yeah, giving, you know, you always wonder why billionaires like Elon Musk doesn't give more. Because you realize that the world is full of greedy motherfuckers. Like even if you give away $1 billion, it never goes directly to where it needs to go. Like if you go on social media and see what Billie Eilish said about Elon Musk, like how he could end world hunger for I don't know how many months and provide clean water to the world, I don't know what, this and this. Man, Billie Eilish, if you go on her net worth, this Elon Musk guy has done so much more than this Billie Eilish girl. And she's just a hypocrite, because if she is worth $11 million, what has she done? You know, what has she done? Because, man, the thing is, like, there's so much red tape, especially in the UN. When you give money, it doesn't always go to where it needs to be going. I think that's the way it is. Like, you want to give, but giving comes with strings, right? So if you start giving to your family, they're going to be expecting more because of that mentality. It's that mentality thing again. So if you spend a lot of time building something, like, people don't know the amount of like effort you put into that. So for them, they're looking at like maybe easy money, and you start giving them easy money, even if they're your family and you love them, like, bro, if they don't have that same mentality, it can actually create more problems than good. You're going to create more harm than good. It's like if you look at even David Dobrik videos or Mr. Beast videos, they give people like free cars. But man, these people can't afford insurance on those cars. Those insurance are like very expensive. You know, such small things like that. It's like so much more complicated than just giving people money. You got to also see like who it is and the psychology it is of the person and all of these things. Like for me, if someone asks me for money, I'll give them the money, but then I say, don't ask me for money again. I'm going to give you this, but don't ask me again. Right? Because now you're going to foster a habit of becoming that guy who will always have to be giving somebody money. Because trust me, like, these are the same people who are going to leave you. Like, that's why if you watch these lottery ticket winners, man, they buy their wives and their friends' cars and houses. And then when they go broke, you think those people care? Man, they don't care. They don't care. When you go broke, you're on your own. You think they're going to be there for you? Man, you're on your own. So I think in life, man, everything financial is your own responsibility. You know, everything to do with finances. You want to have a kid and you're explaining about all the expenses of having a child, man, that's on you. That's a financial decision that you also made. You know, that's just the way I look at things. So you should always take responsibility when it comes to such things, you know? It's not mean. It's just the truth. I had nothing. No one gave me handouts. I never got a single handout. In 2020, man, I wish I could win a giveaway. I wish I could win a funded program, you know, just so I can try my luck. I never got any handouts. I had to work for what I had, or what I got. So I only had like $500, you know? God's honest truth. That's all I had to invest in my dreams. $500. So for me, that $500, it meant more to me. So I was like, man, $500 needs to last me 6 months or even a year. I need to make as much value to me as it possibly can. And you know, when you're coming from that perspective, you're really gonna excel in whatever it is you're doing, because you don't have time to, like, you know, fuck around and like blow accounts and that sort of thing. Because if you blow $500, we're gonna get the next 500. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of mental model that you should have. That's why I don't like the idea of giveaways, right? Because nobody really gets a giveaway. Like, if you look at successful people, they don't really get giveaways. Like, look at the people that you look up to. Do you think at some point in their career they were looking for giveaways? They don't, because, you know, it's a different mental model. You're either a shark or a wolf, or you're a sheep. And you have to make that decision for yourself. You know, wolves don't come out here looking for giveaways. That's a God honest truth right there. But the beautiful thing is consistency always like breaks barriers, and you just keep getting better. You just keep pushing through or smashing through those barriers. And yeah, I mean, that's it. That is it. Teaching a person to survive. Yeah, teaching a person to survive is 100x more important than feeding it for one day. Yeah, teach someone to fish, they're gonna fish for a lifetime. But if you just give them the fish, then you're kind of stunting them. You know, it's like a lion. You know how depressing a lion when it's captured? You can't put that thing back in the wild. It's gonna die. It's gonna die because it's never learned how to hunt. So it's just been given the food all its life. So put it back in the wild, it's gonna die. So it's better that it survives out there and it learns how to survive out there in its own, in its natural environment. You know, so that's why I say you're either gonna be a wolf or a sheep. You see, never get too comfortable. That's a thing. That's a thing with trading as well. You don't want to ever get too comfortable in the markets, because that's when, you know, that's when you feed a croc. That's why they say the best time to kill a crocodile is when it's fed, right? So you don't want to ever get too comfortable, because when you get comfortable, that's when you start seeing your P&L slowly bleed, because maybe you've been having it easy, and then the moment it starts to get hard, that's typically when it will get a lot more difficult for you. Right? That's why we have sayings like it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Right? So you always kind of want to be looking for a self-improvement, always trying to get better. And just be humble when things are going good. See, what is gold doing here? Got like support, a little bit of a fakey below support. Got a resistance over here. This is by 4202. It's about to have a move though. That's for sure. It's trying to like flip on that daily here at 0.05%. Yeah, everybody loves a struggle story. You even look at like rich people, right? When rich people get loans, like even Donald Trump got a loan of $1 million or whatever, they always say, even though my family was rich, I still had to struggle for this. You know, I still had to struggle for all of this. You know, people love struggle. Even if you're rich and you get a loan of $1 million, you don't want people to think that you didn't, for somewhat reason, struggle for that. So it's always in the struggle that you're going to find like actual value. Right? Most rich people are going to say they struggled, even though they had like rich family. So I appreciate the struggle. Every day it's a blessing to have pressure. It's a blessing because, you know, it means something is expected of you. So embrace the journey. You're coming onto the charts. You're taking wins, losses. Take it all the same way. A win or loss. See, like today, I haven't taken any positions from the London. Only had one trade during the pre-London. So I'm still down for the day about like 2.36%. That's not going to change my mood. Because it's yin and yang in the markets. You know, you take the good and you take the bad. Do you think it's going to break out? Yeah, I think so. Like the breakout should be above 4202.56. That's where the breakout should be. There's a little fakey over here. That's kind of messed up the structure. So it'd be much nicer to see it actually break above. And you can have that as a liquidity grab confluence to start pulling up. Maybe the wicks look better on the 15. Oh no, the 15 looks like garbage. It's like ranging a lot. I find it funny, an interview to Trump, he was like 500, 600 million in debt. And he was on the street and said to a journalist that homeless person is richer than, oh yeah, I remember that. Is richer than him at the moment. You know, the thing about the skill, man, the skill, no one can take away the skill from you. Even if you look at, if you guys remember this artist. Hey, let me bring him up over here. Remember this artist? Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Bro, this guy went to zero. His bank account literally went to zero. And he got it back again. He got it back again. Because no one can take the skill away from whatever it is that you do in life, you know, whatever it is that you're good at doing. Like no one can take it away from you. This Lil Pump guy went to zero, man. This guy, Wasn't he like a Harvard guy as well? Like he was meant to go to Harvard or something. He was actually quite a smart dude who decided to become one of these SoundCloud rappers. But he went to zero and he made it all back. Right? You think he was asking for a handout? Man, you're either a wolf or a sheep in this life. You know what I mean? Like these kind of people don't ask for handouts. Like if you're ever gonna have that character in you, you're never gonna need a handout in your life. Right? If you look at guys like Mark Cuban and you look at the guys on the Shark Tank and everything, like you will figure it out. Like trust me, at your lowest moment is the most solid foundation that you can build on. Just like when you're drilling into the earth. When you hit rock bottom, that is the most solid foundation you're ever gonna build upon. And trust me, that's gonna last you a lot longer than already coming in the middle and you're building from the middle. Right? So look at your setbacks as a blessing from God. You know, he's just sculpting you into what you need to be in it for the long run. All those struggles. You can't see it now, but you'll see it later. That kid was not smart. Remember the rapper Charmillionaire? He did one tune, then moved to business from the money and is doing very well. Yeah, you do things in life with integrity and honesty and you're gonna go far. You know, just having the skill is also not enough. That's why we try and do things with some kind of integrity, you know. Like even if you look at the guy who sung what's his name? Shorty's like a melody in my head. This is Sean Kingston. Man, Sean Kingston, literally at some point he was like on top of the world, right? He was having songs with Justin Bieber and you know all these people, and you know he was like I think he was like an A-list celebrity at some point because he could get like houses without actually paying for anything. He could walk into stores and actually get out the store without actually paying for anything and say the management's gonna pay for everything. But you see, the problem with Sean Kingston, he didn't do things with integrity. So in the end, he ended up in prison, right? Because he took advantage of all of that freedom that he got. But he had the skill. He did have the skill. It's just a matter of like how you taking the skill. What direction are you taking the skill? But anyway, I think I will end off. Yeah, it looks like Goldie didn't do anything here today. Just like consolidated heavily. Yeah, chat. So do things with integrity. When you become profitable as well in trading, just keep doing things with integrity. The last thing you want to do is take money from people, because I know a guy who's a good trader, but he took money from people, and then he had to pay those people back for like a whole year. You know, he was still a good trader, but when you take money from people, it kind of messes up your psychology and how you trade. So he had to spend a whole year paying people back. So you know, it's quite important to do things with integrity, and you're gonna go pretty far, right? But I will end off the stream over here, guys. It looks like price is not doing what I wanted it to do. And I will see you all tomorrow for Freaky Friday. Adios. Gotta turn off Discord here and then turn off live stream. Peace, guys.